Hey, what's up guys? How y'all doing? I'm great. It's the holidays, vacation time. Let's get those things off. And I'm going on vacation. No La Croix today, rocking the beer because it's holiday time. Delicious, delicious. I'm heading out to Mexico. When this video comes out, I'll already be there. So I should be using this gear by the time you see this. But this is everything that I'm gonna bring on my trip. Let's get into it. So, after much debate, I've decided that the main camera that I'm gonna bring with me is gonna be my Canon R5. Look, I know I've got a brand new C50 with open gate and raw recording, ready to go. I decided that the C50 is not the right camera to bring. Here's my logic. So, first of all, the C50 is new and it's expensive. If I lose it or it gets stolen, I'll be in worse shape than if I lose my R5. It's an expensive camera with very similar versatility as my R5. I just spent a lot of money on it, so I don't want to risk damaging it or losing it. Second, the C50 doesn't have IBIS. I'm going to be doing a lot more run and gun shooting over my trip. IBIS is going to be more handy to get stable-ish footage. Paired with the stabilization built in most of the lenses I'm bringing, it'll work great. The C50 would need more rigging to get the kind of footage I want. More rigging takes up more space. When traveling, I try to be as efficient as possible. Adding V-mount batteries, battery plates, cables, chargers, and everything else that's needed for that setup, it's just not how I want to travel. I did think about bringing the Ronin RS2, but I couldn't fit the Ronin into my suitcases. It came down to either the Ronin or the drone, and I chose the drone. I'm already worried I'm gonna regret not bringing the C50. I know that I'm gonna miss the raw recording. Hey y'all, Future Rob here with a fresh haircut. Just gotta jump in here and make a quick correction. So I've stated a few times in my videos that the Canon R5 Mark I does not have raw recording internally. That is incorrect. It does have internal raw recording. Special thanks and shout out to Cast Chiefs Wayne Robinson for pointing that out to me. And I will be shooting our trip to Mexico in 8K raw internally, except when I need faster frame rates. Back to you, Past Rob. Open gate would be nice too, but it's not necessary. So Canon R5 it is. It's still a professional camera, even though it's 5 years old. It may not be the latest and greatest, but it's still gonna give me really good quality images. And it's proven itself time and time again. I've also decided to not bring my Fujifilm GFX 50S Mark II. That decision was hard. I love that camera, especially for traveling, but I'd have to remove other gear to make it fit. I'll be sad without it, but the Canon will do just fine. I love drinking at work. It's the greatest. Drinking while I'm working, drinking while I'm working. Hey Rob, make sure you cut all that shit out. No. All right, let's talk about the lenses that I'm bringing. I've got the holy trinity of lenses. First up is the 16-35 f2.8 USM 3 and the RF to EF adapter. Right there. Gotta make sure that I've got some wide angle coverage, especially if I'm trying to show off all the beautiful spaces that we're gonna be in. And yeah, it's the older EF 16-35, but this lens is still pretty great. I wish I had the RF 15-35, then I wouldn't need this adapter. I also wish it had stabilization like the RF 15-35, but it's what I've got. Next up is the RF 24-70 f2.8 lens. This lens is great. I'm not bringing my RF 28-70 f2 for a few reasons, mainly compromises. The 28-70 is an incredible lens. It's one of my favorites, but it's really large and heavy. I've carried it by hand through Utah, St. Thomas, and Japan, and I don't really want to do that this time. Also, I'd have to bring a separate filter for it. I only have a 2 to 5 stop ND. I'll get into what I mean by that in a bit. The 24-70 is more than a pound less in weight than the 28-70. It just makes more sense for traveling. Lastly, I've got the 70-200 f2.8. This is a new addition to my gear, and I'm pretty excited to bring it. It's pretty rare when I get a chance to travel with a zoom that has great optics. The stabilization in it will be really handy too. With all three of these, I should have more than enough coverage. And if I need more focal length, I can shoot in 8K and just crop it. I'm bringing a few other things to make filming easier and better. I've got my Tilta cage for the R5. To go with that, I've got the Tilta top handlebar. Come on, there you go. On top of that, I've got the Tilta angled monitor mount with a 1/4-20 and 2 locking pins. And this is to hold my Shinobi 2 monitor. Framing and shooting is so much easier with a monitor. I've had 20/18 vision my whole life, but I just turned 41. My eyes don't work quite as great as they used to. Now, this isn't the biggest monitor in the world, but it's nice and bright. It will also make it easier to get low angle shots. Again, I'm old. I'm not gonna be getting on the ground to get a shot anymore. Y'all can go away. Done with you. And you need you. Next up is my Sennheiser microphone. In the past, I've never brought a mic traveling with me. And over the past year, I've been doing a lot more audio recording. Since I'm gonna be with my family, I wanted to try and get better audio than just the camera mic. So this will be a new experience for me. We'll see. Another thing I need to make sure I have is ND filters. These are the Peter McKinnon magnetic variable ND filters. I've got a 2 to 5 stop and a 6 to 9 stop. These filters work with these little ring attachments that I have on all of my lenses, and they don't make a version that works on the massive 95 filter thread on the Canon 28 to 70. These filters will work on all 3 of my lenses that I'm taking with me. So it doesn't make sense for me to bring the 28 to 70 and with it, a whole other filter. I've gone on vacation before, and when I got there, I realized that I left my filters at home. I'm not gonna repeat that again. Lastly, for support, is my dad's old tripod. It's a Ranger tripod. This thing's pretty nice. This thing will get up to about 4 feet in height, which should be more than enough. And it's robust enough to hold the R5 with the 70-200 and the monitor on it. And this is gonna be my first trip with this tripod, so I hope it goes well. This is the whole setup. I actually think it's gonna work out pretty well. It's got a good, nice balance to the hand, so I should be able to get some fairly stable footage on it. And it's got everything that I need. Now, the R5 isn't the only camera that I'm bringing. I've got to keep my eye in the sky. The DJI Air 2S is coming with me. So is my dad's old drone. I wanted to bring the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, but that was just way too much space. It's also a very expensive drone, and the last thing I want is for it to go down in Mexico. But I still want to get some drone action. So Air 2S is perfect. I've flown this drone around a bunch of times, and I really like it. It shoots in 5.4K in D-Log at 30 frames per second and 4K at 60 frames per second. It'll serve me just fine for what I need. But again, I'm not really the drone guy. I like flying drones, I like the footage that I get, but they still always make me nervous. I have one last camera that I'm gonna bring. Can't do some action without an action camera. I'm bringing Jen's GoPro Hero 9. It's old, but it still works great. Again, 5.4K at 30 frames per second and 4K 60. Where's the dome? There's the dome. To go with it, I've got this floating handle grip and a dome to get those cool water shots. You never know when these cameras can come in handy. And that's all of the main gear, but all gear needs accessories. Can't shoot anything without power, so I'm gonna need batteries for the R5 and the Shinobi monitor. I'll be taking 4 of the Canon LPE6P batteries. That should be more than enough power to run the camera for most of the day. I doubt I'll go through all of them in one day, but better safe than sorry. For the Shinobi, I've got 2 of the MPF750 batteries. They're 5200 milliamp hours, and this should be more than enough to power the monitor for most of the day. To be honest, I'm more worried about these dying than I am the Canon batteries dying. Worst case, they'll die and I'll just have to go off the monitor. For these batteries, I've got 1 charger for each of them. Chargers can get kind of bulky. 1 for each should be more than enough for a trip. I'm bringing 3 pro-grade memory cards, 1 2 terabyte and 2 1 terabyte cards. I'll likely just keep the 2 terabyte in the whole time, but it's always best to have backup cards. I've also got to bring my card reader too. Can't forget that. I like to back up my footage at the end of the day. And recently I bought a NAS drive for storage and I've got my computer linked up to it. So now I should be able to back up all of my data straight to my NAS drive overnight. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, fingers crossed. I've also got my laptop with me. It's a 2013 MacBook Pro 16-inch M1. Can't forget that. And lastly, can't forget the HDMI cable. Make sure that gets in there too. Now, all of this stuff needs somewhere to go. Most of the gear will be going into my trusty Pelican 1535 Air case. I got this case in this really nice red. I hadn't seen this color before. I really like the way it looks. It stands out, but not like the yellow ones do. But not everything's gonna fit in here. So I'll be bringing my Massimo camera backpack. And the main pouch is where I'll fit the drone. Pack fits in there pretty nicely. The Ronin case fit in there a little bit better, but then I didn't have a spot for the drone, and I chose the drone. The GoPro case will go up in the top compartment. Where'd you go? There you go. Right in here, along with my laptop chargers. And the backpack has this perfect compartment to store my memory cards right up here. And my laptop will go in this perfect laptop compartment in the back. Now I'm set for taking everything in a carry-on. I would not want to check any of my gear on a trip like this. There's no point. Backpack in a Pelican case works. This is the most amount of gear that I've brought on a vacation, and I really want to keep it on me at all times. I'll usually bring 1 to 2 cameras with 1 lens each, and maybe a handle and a monitor. It's always risky to travel with equipment. This is roughly $12,000 worth of gear. If anything gets lost or stolen or broken, it can affect my business. So I have to take this very seriously. Safety has informed my camera choices for this trip. Now, most of Mexico is really safe. The area that we're going to is really safe. It's an all-inclusive resort at a tourist destination, but there's always a risk. When you're in an area that you're not familiar with or with people you're not familiar with, you gotta be extra aware. Why am I bringing all this stuff? It's because I want to capture beautiful memories for myself and for my family. Sure, I can do that with my iPhone, but it's not the same. I want to put intention into this. I want to make it that much more special. When I was a kid, my family didn't have a video camera. We only had a still image camera. My best friend's family did have a video camera. I was kind of always jealous that they were able to capture these memories while traveling. And they still have all these videos that they can look back on. Almost a decade ago, I started going on a lot more trips. And then I started to bring my camera, and then I put together videos of my travels. It's been a really special thing, mainly for my friends and family. But now I have years of travel videos that I can't even stand to look at for reasons. If you watched all the way to the end of my Japan travel video, linked up here, then you know why. Maybe I'll be able to look back on them fondly someday, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Probably not ever. So, gotta make new memories. Cheers, y'all. This is gonna be my last video of 2025. And y'all, it's been a wild year, last couple of years. I like to take time to reflect at the end of the year. You know, this year I had a good friend pass away. I got laid off. I had my dog stolen from me. But I also launched my business. I started a relationship with my girlfriend, and now she and her animals live with me. And I started doing YouTube videos. And for the first time in years, I'm hopeful. I'm actually looking forward to 2026, except for inflation, global warming, and the rise of fascism, the impending big earthquake, and the constant fear of death. But seriously, 2026 is gonna be my year, and I can feel it. And I hope it's your year too. Well, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go have a margarita. Happy holidays, y'all. Happy New Year, and bingo bango.